We are virgins no longer.
So a little fun fact about Greece.
If you're on a boat, we're Americans. We're going to spend money. And at the risk of sounding morbid,
The oldest travel influencers on the podcast scene at some point here. So Chuck and I are happy to take your calls. Well, if I had a secretary, we're separate but equal. Someone has to like me best. Enough money and time, you can do anything you want in this world.
the man, the myth, and legend.
I got a Volvo.
It's not a political statement.
Travel like something is potentially going wrong. Extra underwear. You can't wear shorts everywhere.
Chuck decides to move to France.
Well, first of all, let's just say this. Everybody get your passports. Who's coming? I'll fight you.
I'm not trying to be funny. They speak the language.
Today's my last day. We're just going to shut down right here.
We spent 4 days of the cruise in our cabins dying.
And if you're sick, don't travel. Ever handsome, ever friendly, ever wonderful. It's not that I don't like children.
She's very picky about everything but her men.
I do believe I proclaimed for the spirit that day. I don't wear pajamas.
Last week on Life in the Baggage Claim.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Life in the Baggage Claim. I am your host, Jim Hauck, and I am sadly missing my co-host today, Chuck Longerbeam, who would have been here because we are going to be talking about the lovely, brilliant lady on Virgin Voyages. But he caught sick when he was in Jamaica on his Virgin Voyages travels this recent time. So no Chuck if you're looking for him. But I do have with me two three people, two groups, amazing people that I know. One is real close friends of mine that are actually my very first customer I ever sold travel to. The other is someone we met randomly on the second night on the cruise and ended up with him and his partner and two other people forming a little party that went around and spent the whole cruise together. And we'll talk a little bit about all that kind of stuff in a minute. So welcome to Life in the Baggage Claim. And I'm going to introduce you to Selena Smith and Booker Smith. And would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi.
How's everybody doing?
Hello. We loved our
It
cruise.
was wonderful.
And Sean.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean. I'm from Toronto and really enjoyed the Virgin Voyage with Jim. It was a lot of fun and can't wait to talk more about it.
Yeah, so this was the reason we're pulling this format together today. And the reason we're doing this episode is shortly after we both had booked, Chuck and I realized that we were going to be on Brilliant Lady back to back or relatively back to back. He wasn't exactly after us, but we thought, well, let's talk. This is another episode on Virgin. It's a new ship. A little different. So we wanted to have the conversation and share it and share our thoughts because we were hearing some stuff that wasn't really positive originally in the sounds and noises out there. And we're like, nah, we're gonna see what it's like and say what we have to think. So what ended up happening then is I put you, Selena, and Booker on a cruise right before mine. And then we all ended up having our time on Brilliant Lady this year. So it was the first for Selena and Booker to be on Virgin Voyages. They've not done them before. And Sean, it's not your first. You've done a few, right, with Virgin?
That's correct. I've done 5 now.
Right. And I'm on my 4th. That was my 4th. So you got a mix of, virgins to, well, some of us washed up virgins. So, before we get going here, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We've had a really good year. We want to keep it rolling. Make sure you get on there and share this with your friends. Let's talk about first impressions. So Virgin as a whole makes an amazing first impression on your boarding process, right? Relatively smooth at the terminal, relatively smooth getting in, and then you're up on the ship and it's a pump and beat and people are jumping around and dancing and they welcome you. What are your first impressions that you took boarding the ship, Selena and Booker?
It's a very quick process and organized. Just everything moved real swiftly. No hiccups. Everybody communicated with everyone.
Yes, that was important. The staff communicated because when you're going through those ropes, you're like going, where do we go? Is this the line or is this the line? And they really stepped up and did the whole Vanna White thing. Nope, come this way. Yeah. And then they explained they explained stuff as you went and then told you where to go to next. Because if not, you're just wide-eyed going, my God, we're
amazing.
here. It's amazing. We're here.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do think, Sean, what do you think? That Virgin does a decent job on boarding and getting you on the ship?
Yeah, I think they do a great job. I think the thing that I've heard people complain about if they are waiting, it's because they've gotten to the ship outside of their time. So if your boarding time is at 1 o'clock and you show up at 9, you're going to be waiting until 1 o'clock your boarding time. So that's what starts a little bit of the lineups that people might have complained about in the past. But each one of my cruises, I've shown up when I was supposed to, and within a half an hour, I'm on board. So I was very pleased with them.
Yeah, I think that's the one miss I always say about Miami is there's no place to sit. Some of the terminals have these huge sitting areas, right, where before you get on the ticket lines, you're already waiting, able to get comfortable. Virgin chose not to do that. It's all upstairs beyond the first pass of check-in. And I sitting outside in Miami can be good or bad. Those cold, the hard concrete benches are all they've got, right? It's not a lot of places to sit if you're sitting around. You can take a shuttle and get out of there and go check things out. But yeah, I think that's the only complaint I ever have is you're early, you're outside, there's nowhere to really relax. So I have been on Valiant and I've been on Resilient and now Brilliant. And Sean, which have you been on?
I've been on all the ships.
Okay, so you've been on all the lady ships. You're a real
Yes.
good, real voyage. And so Selena Smith, your first one's on Brilliant. What was your first take on once you got on board? Sean, you've been on the other ships. What did you think when you got on board? Did it feel any different? Did something feel unique?
It did. It felt there's this casualness and a friendliness that all the crew have, that they interact with you. Chatting, welcoming you on board. No one has any stuffy uniforms. They're dressed very casually, but clearly identifiable. A lot of the crew when you board have these red jumpsuits on. You think they might be like a worker on the ship, but they're actually the entertainment crew. Yeah, everyone's very approachable, fun, and there's just this lightheartedness that is really nice. So you feel at home right away.
Yeah. Selena and Booker, as you got on board, first impressions when you're on the ship, anything you catch your eye different than before other cruises you've been on?
Our
was
porter?
the porter.
The porter.
Our porter was he was easy he came right up to us and he welcomed us on the ship.
Oh, your room steward, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
We didn't know what the term was. And when he saw us and we was counting down, he came to us and goes, "What is your name?" And we go, "We're the Smiths from Dallas, Booker and Selena." He goes, "Right this way." And then he took us into the cabin and he showed us more technology than we'll ever remember. But he said if we had any problems to call him. And he was very pleasant about he was very pleasant and knowledgeable about everything that's inside your cabin. That was very pleasant because we was really wide-eyed.
Yeah,
we haven't cruised in 13
long
years.
time. So we were kind of like a deer in the headlights. But,
Yeah,
he made the
yeah. So if you haven't cruised in a long time, the modern ships have a very different feeling from what's there. So Sean, back to you. I'm going to talk now about the different lady ships. Anything you feel different, or do they all feel like you're comfortably home again when you get on one?
They're all very, very similar. We've noticed that the crew sometimes go from one ship to the next, and they are very good at recognizing or remembering, or at least faking that they remember you, which also can be nice. So yeah, we like spending a lot of time in Sip Bar. That's our favorite bar. They have them on each ship. And we've seen the same staff on different cruises from different ships. There's something about someone recognizing you and makes you feel like you're at home, or you belong, or you're comfortable, or like that old TV series Cheers, where everyone knows your name type of thing. It's great. It's fun. We like that.
Yeah, I definitely, until we were on board a few days, I didn't catch some of the differences between Brilliant and Valiant, Scarlet and Resilient. And for our audience, the difference really is that they built Brilliant in a slightly smaller form factor, as they talk about. They put her on a little bit of weight loss program, so she got a little thinner, so that she can go through the Panama Canal, which was a big deal, right? They wanted to do their West Coast sailings. They want to get their market up on that side. So they needed a ship that could go and transit the Panama Canal to get through. I don't understand the difference between the two enough to know. I mean, so it's literally like, I want to say it's like 12 or 15 inches. It's a real small amount, but they also had to tuck the lifeboats in a little bit differently, I think, as well. I guess they go through the new canals they could probably have gone through, but I think every cruise line wants to go through the old canals because that's what people think of with Panama, right? Let's talk about food, because I think one thing I always tell folks when you get on a Virgin cruise is it's not a mac and cheese and chicken McNuggets crowd, right? The food is usually elevated. There's a lot more different things to try, and you can never really go hungry if you are out there enjoying yourself. So, Sean, talk about the food. What you thought?
It's good. There's something for everyone. It's all specialty dining. So you make reservations, you use your app, you can go and have Mexican food, you can have Italian food, you could do the test kitchen, which is sort of that nouveau cuisine, what have you. And, you'll have some people who don't like certain types of cuisine or certain types of food. Well, you don't have to go back to that restaurant, or you don't have to go to that restaurant at all. And then you have the galley where you can find all sorts of different foods there, and you don't have to line up. You can take a seat, and then you just flick up the red sort of flag, and then a server will come to you and ask for your order, which is great for people traveling alone. I know on other cruise lines, you'd go through like the galley and you'd get all your food, you'd sit down, you'd forget something, you'd go get it, you come back and your table has been cleared. I've heard that as a complaint on other cruise lines. And this way, if you're traveling alone or if you're differently able or you can't get up, you can just go find yourself a seat and then order right from the table, which I think is really new. And I think it helps people who are, traveling alone or can't get up and walk around and get what they want. So I think that's a big plus.
So Selena and Booker, I think you guys had some interesting experiences you shared in terms of what you ended up doing most of the time when you ate. We want to talk about how your dining experience was on Brilliant Lady.
That was, we spent most of our time in the galley.
Because the food was
It
so
was
good.
so good, and you can get it anytime. Everything from beef Wellington to lamb. It was incredible. You had, I think they had a place for, they had like a Korean noodle spot. They had like a burger spot. Then they had the American Grill spot, but everything was well made and it was very good. And it was 5-star. I think we went to a couple of the restaurants also, and it wasn't a long wait. We got in fast. The food was excellent. The Italian restaurant we had, I believe we had steak Florentine. Oh my God.
That was really good.
Amazing.
If we're so used to, the other thing, if you're used to be early dining because of our lifestyles back home, that was nice that you could do early dining and in the specialty restaurants. But I think it's important the way they do their snacks. If you have a blood sugar drop and you need a snack, they have those really cool to-go things. They have fruit and cheese, and then they had the sushi right there, especially when you first get on and you was traveling and you're starving and you're getting those hangry attitudes, that bad energy when you got the hangry pains, and you could go get a quick snack and take a breather and go, okay, now let me focus. Where am I going? And
those snack to-go things are great because you could even bring them back to your cabin and put it in the fridge. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you've got a little bit of a hunger, you don't have to go wandering around or order room service.
Yeah. And I like that little champagne cart.
Mm-hmm.
The trolley cart.
Yes.
And I never got to try the ice cream. Lord, the ice cream place.
Yes.
So was strolling, you wanted something sweet. The nice thing about all the people, you see somebody eating ice cream, you could ask them, where'd you get that? And they direct you back around there. And like they had brown butter ice cream, and it was really, really nice.
Good. It was really good. And I really
enjoyed. The pizzeria is great too. If you didn't like the food, like the test kitchen, some people don't like the test kitchen. It's very out there and different.
That was awesome.
And it's a nice way to spend the evening, and you can have a glass of wine, champagne or whatever, but it's not a lot of food. And then afterwards you hear people saying, I'm going to the pizzeria, or I'm going to get one of those to-go boxes, or I'm going up to the galley. So never fear, like if you don't like something at a restaurant, don't eat it and go somewhere else.
The breakfast, I was really pleased with the breakfast because that's kind of starts your day. And there was so many different choices, whether you wanted oatmeal one day, bacon and eggs one day, pancakes one day, pastries. They had a whole selection where you never got bored. So it was a great way to start the day.
Oh, and the coffee's good. They have good coffee.
It is. Yeah, it's surprisingly good what comes out of the regular coffee makers, right? I think I saw a better use of those to-go containers, right? Because they were even out by the dock and all that kind of stuff, by the dock, which is the back bar on the cruise ship. There was food everywhere you wanted to grab food, basically. And if you wanted to grab and go, you were grab and go ready. So I would definitely say, anyone who wants to know about the food, Virgin does food well. Now, we didn't care for as much, right, Sean? There were certain things that were like, not our favorite, right?
Right.
But we definitely spent a lot of time in pink agave, and we liked. What else did you like?
Yeah.
The new Razzle Dazzle concept.
Exactly. It was very good. They have a really great Basque cheesecake there.
The candy bacon.
Really good. I like the Virgin, the Italian restaurant. I like that quite a bit. And I also like the fact that the dining, like you can go at any time. You don't have to wait in big lineups. There really weren't lineups for things. I found it was very easy to get a place.
And speaking of that, we'll go more into how you meet people in a minute. But one thing I liked was that once we met Sean and his partner and our other friends, Kelly and Sean, we were able to actually get our reservations adjusted so we could all sit together very easily, which I think is a big applaud to Virgin because they will work it out and adjust with us. And we were always willing to give something up to get something, which was nice. So, that they do a lot when it comes to food and dining to make you feel good. And then they don't rush you, which is nice. There's no push to get out. You get your time.
Yeah, it was very comfortable. They were very hospitable, and Razzle Dazzle had that candy bacon, guys, and that should be illegal. Candy bacon should be illegal, and I would know.
So, whether you're traveling solo or you're in a group or with friends, I think one of the things cruising always tries to be a good place for is meeting people. It's where you get together with folks who some common interest. You all like to cruise, or something where it brought you to that point. And I think I find Virgin to be one of the easiest lines to meet people on because it just presents itself more than it doesn't. So on the first night when we had gone out to dinner to the Wake, which is the steakhouse, Jimmy and I were sitting there, and the people sitting next to us, we just started engaging and laughing. And that was when we met Sean and Kelly, who would have been here today but didn't make it. And we sat there through dinner. We didn't join our tables. We just sat next to them. And we started talking about this thing we were going to do the next night, which was called Booze and Clues, which was a bar crawl with some mystery solving in it, right?
Oh, that sounds fun.
When we showed up to that the next night, we walked in, Jimmy and I, and we saw Sean and his partner Robert, and we sat right down with them, and then said, "Okay, we're going to be a group," because it was like they were doing group thing, right? And we held the seats for Sean and Kelly. The six of us immediately connected. It was really cute to watch. None of us knew each other, right? We just slowly got there, so we kind of imposed ourselves on Sean and Robert and said we're going to be your group. So, I don't know about you, Selena and Booker, but how'd you feel about did you meet any nice people? Did you find it easy to meet people?
Yes, we did. One thing, Sean, did y'all win? Did y'all win?
Oh, yeah, we won.
Booze night?
Yeah.
Yay!
We were overachievers. We had the first answer before you even put the clue out.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
So we talked to Jim when he got back from his trip. NFL fans and sports fans, they're like their own family when you see each other. The one thing that we learned about meeting people on the cruise is that it's acceptable to wear your jersey, because when we was cruising, John, there was some big games coming on. We kind of all asked each other once we realized whether they was the Bears or we didn't. I don't think we saw any cowboy people.
Really.
But we saw some
You're
Colts.
on Carnival.
They have plenty of time because they're not going to make it to go on a cruise. But you got where you meet when they recognized you as part of an NFL family. It was like, where's the game at? Where's the game at? We talked to Jim about that. And what was crazy, we found that bar in the back, Jim.
Yeah.
What was very nice bartender.
Yep.
The NFL family rearranged the furniture, and we was all watching the game that nobody wanted to watch, and everybody else was doing the Wi-Fi thing. And we was all talking back and forth and sharing, oh, it's first and down, and then this one's a touchdown. So it was like 4 teams playing at the same time, and it was just great communication. Then y'all hooked up the rest of the night. All the NFL players going, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? So it was a very friendly meetup, and you could it was just great dialogue.
Yeah, and then we also met someone for breakfast. We went to Razzle Dazzle with that addictive candy bacon again. But we met some people there, and I believe they were from one on the he was on the kitchen supply place.
He was a chef in California,
Yes.
and his husband, he was even on one of those really great reality shows.
Yes.
But they had great personalities, and we ran into them several times, and it was like, hey, what did y'all do today? And you got to exchange stories because they was frequent Virgin travelers like y'all.
Yeah. And then another gentleman that sat at our table, he was a single guy, and he was part of a singles group that was meeting later on the ship. So it was like they had something for everybody. So it was it was a personal experience. The fact that the boat was a little smaller, y'all mentioned the ship was a little bit smaller, it made it perfect.
Well, that's what we noticed.
You kept putting into people you knew and saw, and you kept, meeting them over and over. It made the experience great.
And the one thing
I agree. I think there's something for everyone, and you meet people from all over the world. And if you're open and you're looking for a good time, there's something for everyone, and there's something to meet your interests there. So if you're into sports, there's people who are into sports. Rob and I were, like I said earlier, we'd hang out in the sip lounge. We're trying cocktails. We're chatting with people. We're getting to know people. And I just think it's great.
Yeah, I think the the sweet spot for cruising is that under 3,000 passengers is when you kind of get the chance to mingle and see people. Because when you start getting more, you don't see them because you don't cross paths as often.
Yeah.
That's my theory. That's the thing proven by that. That's just how I felt through crowd traveling. And I think what I'm hearing from all of you too is Virgin does pride itself on being a very open and affirming community, right? So in this times where a lot of that's going away, it's nice to see a place where you go where everybody doesn't have to worry about pronouns or worry about who you love or care about. Everybody has a good time. And I've said to a few friends, getting on a Virgin cruise to me is almost like going to what the world could be like if everybody would just chill out and have more.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Everybody talked. Everybody got along. There were no issues.
And you know what? The Virgin cruise, I can tell you, the engineer people who was checking stuff and, they wear the white jumpers, they would even engage you if you asked something and you're like, well, I'm trying to get here. And it is like, oh, what do you do? Of course, that's what I always ask. So what are you doing? And I need to get here, but I always want to know, what are they doing? And, I'm an engineer or whatever. And he goes, and this is where you go to get where you need to go. And it's like, okay, have a blessed day. Thank you. I appreciate you keeping us safe, especially the engineers. Hey, Sean,
I think everybody's very friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of their job description, right? Part of their role is to be very friendly and very engaging. It's just like almost like they get graded on it somehow, right? One of the things that I partook in more for the first time on this cruise was the actual nighttime entertainment. And that was because I was with people who actually wanted to go. And so that kind of made it interesting. I had never seen the dual reality show until this last cruise, and I felt like I was sad I missed it all these other times. It's so good, very emotional, very full of energy. It's a good show. And then there's other things. So Sean, I know that we all went to the dance floor. We went to the dual reality. What do you think about the entertainment?
I think it's great. The dual reality, if people don't know, it is the Romeo and Juliet story, but it's done in a modern twist, which is interesting because a lot of young people who didn't study, Romeo and Juliet and Shakespeare in school, like old people like me, they had no idea what it was all about. And they were talking, it was like, oh, it's West Side Story, or it's this, it's that. No, it's Romeo and Juliet. And it's interesting. I think it's very intense, short bursts of entertainment. It's interactive, and you'll have a lot of entertainment throughout the ship. So even on Scarlet Night, we planted ourselves in Sip Lounge for a long time, and the entertainment comes by and they do acrobatics in front of you in the aisle or in the hallway. And it avoids a big, huge crowd in one spot. And at the end of the night, everyone's gathering up by the pool, and that's the one spot, but it's a big area, and they have entertainment with singing and dancing. It's a lot of fun, but the big thing is it's interactive, and you don't have to sit through like a long production. So if you have a short attention span, it's perfect.
So let's slide over to the topic of Scarlet Night, because no talk about a Virgin cruise would be complete without a conversation of Scarlet Night. So I had given Selena and Booker quite a bit of advice about how to prep and what to wear and how to plan for that party. Jim, what happened? How did it go for you, Selena? What did you guys think about it?
Oh, it was awesome.
It was great. The story, the whole story about the octopus and the garden and all of that stuff, it was pretty incredible stuff. And then
the pool party was,
oh my God.
Some things you can never unsee, but overall it was fabulous. It was very fabulous.
Well, I learned a lesson also. Be careful who you tell it's their anniversary, because drinks just start coming your way.
Yeah, that was the one thing we had to be careful on.
Yeah.
But the entertainment on Scarlet Night was amazing. And we got by the pool because that was the largest area, and we got one of those round seats, and we had other people just joining us. So we really enjoyed that. And kind of everybody, when you got up to go dance, and the people right beside you would be watching your stuff. And I kind of like that. That make you feel good if it was your first time. And on the music, the DJ played some really good old school music. Yes, and then he went to the techno, and it's like, I wish he would have finished that song, because the ship started, you could hear him singing the old school, the 80s, and then it went to techno. So I went, man, now we got to wait for another good song. But other than that, DJ's preference, he gets paid for.
Yeah, but it was pretty, everybody, inhibitions went into the wind. Let's just say that.
And Sean, I'll share with Sean that I had told Jim, you had the old school church ladies coming through, and they parted the ways. If you're not, I just realized you're not from the South.
No, he's far north.
You're far north. Just a smidgen. just a road trip away. So
Yeah,
we got to see
recording is
these
being tariffed right now.
Yeah, we got to see these elder Black ladies with their hats at night.
Yes.
And let me tell you, they parted the ways at Red Night, and it was fabulous. And it was when
It's
one of the
fun to
80
see everyone partying. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, they got a kick, and they just laughed and smiled with everybody.
Yeah, and it was like they was in a pageant and they was waving to everybody,
Yeah.
but you just knew they was the Sunday school church ladies.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was good.
Awesome. One thing I wanted to mention is if you do a cruise over Christmas, we did one last year, not over Christmas, but in the Christmas area, like December. We went the 14th last year. Virgin gifts you a Christmas ornament, the ones that you can buy in the gift shop. So that's always a neat thing. So I find they always try to something special, which I think it's great.
It's makes it personal.
Yeah. And there's something for everyone. You can dress like you want. If you want to dress up, dress to the nines. If you want to be casual and be a shorts and t-shirts the whole time, do that. My only personal pet peeve is red is red is not burgundy, red is not orange, red is not stripes. So if you're going to wear red, get yourself some proper red, like think Santa Claus red.
We'll do a whole episode on proper red party dressing.
But do what you want, but that's just me.
Sean, are you saying they didn't use their color wheel?
No.
They didn't use the color wheel to find the red?
So
find the right red. Go get your colors done or something.
Sean did a really cool thing. He and Robert had some pins they were giving out, and these are you see if that's sort of focus. I don't know. So it's a little red octopus. It was funny because it's a great conversation starter when you're wearing it, right? Because first of all, they see all your people you're sitting with are wearing them, and we just said we were a secret society. It was much more fun, but it's funny how that gets a conversation going too. So things to think about when you're cruising are having little gadgets like that to give away, something that brings you together with other people. I also now have a ton of red octopus to take to the next cruise, so they'll eventually turn Virgin's red theme into a red octopus night for sure. All right, so we're getting close to wrapping up here. I'd like to get some final thoughts, and in the final thoughts, will you or will you not voyage again with Virgin? For folks who know or don't know, I am bringing a group together next October 29th, 2026, on the Brilliant Lady for 17 nights from Los Angeles to Miami through the Panama Canal. And I know Sean and his partner are going to be there. I'm going to be there. Jimmy's going to be there. If you look on my travel site, at jbhawkadventures.com, you'll see it under groups. We've now named ourselves the Tawny Bitches. In fact, maybe Sean, before you go, you want to talk about what that was about? If you feel you got the answer, I'm not sure I know it, other than what happened at dinner. We're a group of people who are trying to build that community of going. So this is like our first group cruise. For our final impression, Selena and Booker, and will you do it again?
Absolutely. We've been talking about you so much, your ears are ringing.
I've had my first facial there. Okay, I've never had a facial before. And, they gave me the bed and all that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, this is what I've been missing. So
yes, you did a great job, and you made our 25th anniversary so special. I think you might have trumped the lovely author. Who did we go? I talked to that when we in New Orleans. Anne Rice.
Yeah.
I think this was just as memorable as seeing and spending time with Anne Rice, Jim. So you was a 10 plus and 5 stars and all that TikTok stuff.
Should the watches?
And we got
matching tag watches.
Watches.
Awesome.
Tag our store and went crazy.
Yeah, we like Virgin. I mean, we've cruised on many cruise lines, and we keep going back to Virgin since we first started. And we booked one over Easter in March, and then we're joining Jim on his Panama Canal cruise. So we quite like it. It's great. The only thing that I think Virgin could do is include airfare and hotel and make a package. That'd be a happy camper.
You can get that for you. All right. Well, thanks for listening to tuning in today. This is Life in the Baggage Claim, where we talk about all kinds of things in life and travel. We're wrapping up season 1. This will be our Christmas episode. For those of you who can't see in the houses, that's what we're doing. And we'll be back in 2026 for season 2. I thank everyone for taking the time, especially those who are listening to this right now, to be with us, and wish you all a great end of year. And thank you, Selena, Booker, and Sean, for taking time today to join our channel and be part of the podcast. We might come back after the Panama Canal series and see what happens. And This was a great experiment for us and seeing what happens. You bring a bunch of extra people over to the channel to talk. So thanks everybody, and until next time, have a great day.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Nice seeing
Happy
you.
safe holidays.
Take care.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Sean.